Hello everyone, welcome to the Social Club with down south for this one because we thought we'd get a whole new cast of character. No, hang on. That's used, isn't it?
Same again.
That's
Ped 1 week back.
Right, give him Ped a week off. Yeah, we're going to start off this week by talking about Dele Alli. What was the phrasing of this? Is he world class and is he better than Mesut Ozil?
Yeah, one of the two, but I suppose there's only one of them that is world class, obviously.
Mesut Ozil.
Well, easy. To be fair, it's a big shout. Dele Alli's been amazing form this season. Mesut Ozil was delivered season on season pretty much his entire career. But I used to so Spurs have this song, everyone's probably heard it, nicked it off of West Ham and Arsenal, which is we've got Ali, Dele Alli.
What's the rest of the lyrics? I haven't heard that one.
Okay. Yeah, sing it properly.
You only cost $5 million. He's better than Ozil. We've got Dele. Anyway, and I used to think one of those.
It's almost as good as when you do the when the Spurs go marching in really slowly.
Yeah, well that is our song. Saints,
the slow version of
it. The Saints nicked it from us. I used to feel a bit silly when we would say, you know, he's better than Ozil, because it was all a bit tongue in cheek. We just bought him $5 million from League One, but it's not silly anymore. I mean, there is a legitimate argument that he, this season at least, has been the much more productive player, the much more dangerous player, and has scored more important goals and turned up against the big teams. So at this stage, yes, undeniably, Dele Alli is better than Mesut Ozil.
Well, at the risk of falling into farce, let's leave the Ozil things for the moment.
Okay. I think we should come back to that, though.
Yeah, no, I think we will 100% come back to that. I don't think there's any doubt that Dele Alli's a terrific player, James, and I think you can see just a cursory look at his goal return, if nothing else, just this season says he's kicking on, and he should do, because look, he was good last season. Odds are he was only going to get better this year.
Yeah, and I think you're always wondering, will he go on, or will it just be that first year and he comes and does really well and then is a one-season wonder? But he's proven that. I think he's got a great mentality. He's obviously confident, and he's scoring goals. I think one thing you would say is there's that big stat of he's got more goals and assists than Beckham, Gerrard and Lampard combined before they were 21, turned 21 this week. But one thing I would say is that he should be judged a bit more in terms of goals and assists, because he's essentially playing. Yeah, he's essentially playing up front. He's not your normal attacking midfielder.
Steven Gerrard was a defensive midfielder at this point of his career, etc., etc. What do you reckon, Sam? Casting jealous glances across?
No, because I remember Flav last year, he would always, whenever anybody was talking about Dele Alli, Flav would tone it down a bit and say, look,
you were suspicious.
He's a little bit, not he's overrated, but everyone's jumping on it a little bit too soon. Now, why was that? What's changed between now and then? Is it just he's scoring?
He's delivering. He's delivering.
A girlish, squealing fanboy of Dele Alli.
No, look, I was always, you saw what quality he had, potentially. He had an amazing amount of quality. Like I said, he'd come out of League One. No one should expect him to have been able to deliver in the way that he has. And, the fact is, you could see the quality, but he wasn't all there. And I don't know whether it's Pochettino's abilities to train it and find those elements of the player and get it out and make it manifest on the football pitch, or the fact that the things he's trying now are coming off more regularly. So he had a long period of losing possession quite often, but he's in an area of the pitch which is like kind of low percentage area of the pitch. You're going to lose the ball more because you have to be a bit more adventurous in trying to carve out chances. Teams are generally quite good defensively in the Premier League, so it was always going to be difficult for him. But at the moment, certainly in the last 6 months, he's finding those balls. He's making those killer balls. He's getting into the box and he's finishing. Whereas, he wasn't the best at finishing before, and he is now. And in the most basic terms, I think he's quicker at, or reading the game quicker than he was previously, because he would kind of take 3 or 4 touches. Now it's 1, 2, bang, and he's done what he wanted to do.
I think the big testament to him is look at him and Harry Kane, to be fair, in the same boat. I've seen a lot of players go away with England and be absolutely destroyed by the English fans, by the English manager, whatever. Come back and it's weird. This is the first season no one's mentioned the whole the international footballer hangover, as it were. And I think both of those lads started a little slowly, and I think that was probably hanging over their heads. I think it's a massive testament to Ali in particular. because I think there is naturally more pressure on him, because I think when you look at him as a footballer, I think Harry Kane's a mystery to most people outside of Spurs. No one really kind of gets the Harry Kane thing. He keeps scoring, and that'll stop eventually. Don't worry about that. but Ali, I look at Dele Alli, and I think Steven Gerrard. I look at him when he was in his pomp. I think he's got a similar build. They're quite rangy. They've got a decent pace. They've got a good eye for goal. They've got that little bit of gnarly bastard to them as well. So yeah, like I say, there's going to be loads more, and there has been more scrutiny on Ali, and that's another sign I think of how good he's been.
I think the expectations on someone as well has changed with him. So initially you're like, hang on, this kid's come from League One and he can affect the game. So you let those bad passes in those difficult areas go. Yeah. Then after a while you go, well, no, he's had a season now. I think he's a decent player. And you look at those moments where you try and turn in between the lines and he get caught out, and you go, oh, hang on, he's not as good as you thought. I think what he's doing now is when he gets the ball in those areas, he's a bit more experienced and knows he hasn't got that amount of time, and he can't turn like he probably could in League One. And so he's just using the ball better in those areas. So there aren't those moments where you go, and then the times where he is making, I think where he's most deadly, most effective is when he's facing goal. Actually, he's had some great finishes, some great interplay in and around the box when you're dominating games. And I think and people forget this as well. It's just how many games he's played at a young age. So his decision making seems to be a lot smarter than other.
He played 100 league games before he joined Tottenham. Yeah. So he has the smarts you need in order to succeed. And the talent, as we've seen. He might not be world class in all areas, right? But one thing he is truly brilliant at is finding space and pulling defences all over the place. His movement with Kane has made us so dangerous this year, and I was a little bit worried about how he would kick on without Kane. As it turns out, he's done fine. But that finding that space, that was when I understood the brilliance in that. And maybe me talking about,
because we did a video, didn't we? You said he was we did the most overrated player. Yeah. On a you decide, and you went with Dele Alli.
Only because the furore around him was incredible, given the fact that his return it didn't deserve the furore around him.
We call that anti-jinxing where I'm from.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. But yeah, finding space, attacking space, and it seems a logical thing, but so many players can't do it as well as Ali does. And as long as he continues to do that, will make him an absolute nightmare for our other teams. And obviously, we're lucky to get him because there was a lot of interest. Liverpool wanted him, a lot of interest in him. But I think we'll reap the benefits now. And if anyone does want to buy Ali from us, it'll cost an absolute fortune.
He's one that I look at Liverpool, and I think we missed out on him by all accounts because of just the horrendous mismanagement at the top end of the club. There's a couple of stories, and the one that I heard was, he was told he was going to meet Steven Gerrard at Melwood when he was given a tour around. No one told Steven Gerrard, so Gerrard was basically at home in bed. And this, if he turned up, I'm not saying, look, ultimately he might well have chosen Spurs, but yeah, it's a big thing. Gerrard's his favourite player, and I look at that Liverpool team and think, God, what we look at the goals Liverpool scored already this season. If we had, I mean, Emre Can's done a decent job playing in the attacking mid slots at times, but to be able to have Wijnaldum, Lallana and Dele Alli in rotation in there, we'd have been absolutely...
Here's a question for both of you guys in particular. You've had those Michael Owen, Fowler, Gerrard, those players who came through at like 18, 19 and carried on, had a great career. And Rooney, as much as people take the piss out of him now, was incredible for a large amount of years. Do you see that same kind of just calm confidence in Ali as you did in those kind of players? And therefore, do you see him doing those same kind of things?
Yeah, it looks natural to him, and I think that's something that Flav there was saying about space is pretty underrated as an asset of an attacker. But if you're just smart, you're not just thinking about where you are on the pitch, you're thinking about everything around you. And Ali strikes me as that sort of player. He's got massive variety to his game. He can score great headers, left, right. It literally is. I'm not sure there's a clear weakness to his game, and he does look like he thrives under pressure. And it could have been second season syndrome, and he could, say Javier Hernandez had a pretty poor second season at United after he burst onto the scene. And most players do, but to have that much experience at that young an age, and he's part of this. There's a few exciting England players coming through, but I don't think anybody is more exciting than what Ali could be and what he's doing right now.
I think he's got a team that really works for him as well, and his strengths actually as well, which helps and creates space around him. When you've got Rose or Trippier or Walker or whoever it is, that makes the pitch a bit bigger, which creates a bit more space for him in the middle when he does pick up the ball there. But he's almost turning into a centre forward. But is he better than Ozil?
Yeah.
And where's it going to go tits up for him?
The only thing, slight question mark, is temperament. He does lose his nut every now and then, but as you say, like Gerrard did.
I think you need that.
Lampard's the only one that probably was quite cool and calm and collected. But Gerrard, despite in some of the players, is generally a positive thing as long as he doesn't do silly things like he did the last by punching.
I think it's a will to win, mate. Look at Ross Barkley as an example. There's the two hottest up and coming talents, and we were talking on probably last season on Social Club, and the Toffee TV lads were like, oh well, you know, Ali's the next Gerrard, but Barkley's the next Zidane, which is ludicrous, of course. But what we talk a lot about Barkley is that when he loses his head, it's just a bit nasty. I just think that things get on top of him. Whereas I think Ali, I think he's a natural born winner, and I think you see that in certain players that when they lose it, it's because they don't like things not going there. It's weird. It's not a great distinction. I'm probably not making.
No, I understand you completely. Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately you have to be a little bit spiteful and nasty if it means getting your team over the line. And I remember when I was a kid watching Arsenal and United, part of the reason I hated them so much is because their teams, they had nasty players in there, and they're not there to be liked by opposition fans. They're there to win football matches.
I think it's part of the point I think you're kind of making is that temperament of, right, I'm annoyed, so give me the ball. I quite like that about Dele Alli. I watched QPR on Friday. Ravel Morrison started for us, and he's lost that.
How long the Ravel Morrison?
And he's lost that. I thought, I was like, oh god, great, he's finally playing the game. I was expecting him to just go, right, look, this is way beneath my level. Give me the ball, and he didn't. He kind of just sort of floated about, and I was annoyed at him because he's that same kind of player. Obviously, nowhere near the same IQ.
Could have been.
But yeah, well, he's stupid. But yeah, I think I like that with Dele Alli, and the times I've seen him, he is constantly demanding the ball, and I think that's impressive in difficult areas.
Yeah. So we'll just quickly, because we're not going to define world class here per se, but if he's not world class, he scored about 16 goals in the Premier League as well this season.
I think it was on 19.
19 in all comps, is that?
Yeah.
There's only like 3 or 4 that have scored more than him in the league, and he's not a striker.
So if he's not world class, what does he need to
consistency?
Do? Next season.
Next season, the season after, that to be, if without having to define what world class is, that would be it.
Does he dominate games? I wouldn't say he completely dominates games, and that's why I probably wouldn't get him up there.
I mean, his effect on the game, you could think it, but he doesn't. You wouldn't expect him to drag the team through in the same way that Gerrard and and Beckham did. But that may come.
Did he do that at that age? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it might come on, but we'll see.
Is it more the fact that he's part of a great team at the moment, or do you think if you took Dele Alli out of there and say you dropped him in United or Arsenal, would he have that same impact?
Yeah, if he had a £50 million price tag over his head and everyone was going, "Go on, mate, do what you do," I reckon he would ultimately survive with it. But you're right, it's a different kind of pressure.
You've learned the hard way with that one, though, haven't you?
All Spurs players are benefiting from Pochettino's system, without doubt. Dele Alli is a great footballer who's been used brilliantly by Pochettino. The most important thing at Tottenham is Pochettino.
Amazing. There you go. Couldn't have put it any better.
Cheers.
So Dele Alli clearly world class and clearly better than Ozil. Says Flav. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Is simply put, is he better than you can't?
Yes.
Ozil. Is he better than
Ozil?
Isn't it? Yeah.
No, I know. I don't want to say his name.
I said Ozil once.
But when you say it, I can't help but want to say it in the tone of the song.
Better than Ozil.
Ozil, yeah.
There you go.
That's weird. Anyway, let us know in the comments below. If you want to watch more Social Club, you can. Click this video. We're talking about whether Leicester have what it takes to win the Champions League this season.